The 90s. You remember what that was like? Back before tater tots were organic, when food was fun, when clothes were fresh, when summers were simple, when some things seemed impossible, but were actually very probable. When you were a hesitant romantic. The 90s are difficult to explain. Can you fully and successfully explain what something is like, or what it's like to be something? Can you provide the complete content of the experience through a description or an explanation? Thomas Nagel asked the question, how do you explain what is incomprehensible, the conscious experience, in terms of what is familiar and well understood, the physical causes behind the experience? Conscious experience is a widespread phenomenon. It occurs at many levels of animal life, though we can't be sure of its presence in simpler organisms, and it's very difficult to say what in general provides evidence of it. No matter how the conscious experience may vary, the fact that an organism has conscious experience at all means that there is something it is like to be that organism. The question is, by finding out about how the conscious experience works, do we address and exhaust the explanation of what it's like? Let's take a look at bats. If you've ever been stuck in a room with a bat, you understand that you're dealing with a very terrifying and foreign life form. We know that bats primarily perceive the external world by sonar or echolocation. This means that they detect the reflections of their own rapid, subtly modulated, high-frequency shrieks. Their brains are designed to correlate the outgoing impulses with the subsequent echoes. The information acquired enables bats to make precise discriminations of distance, size, shape, motion, and texture, comparable to those we make by vision. A really fly echolocation phenomenon is that bats use a specific reflection pattern to recognize water. If you substitute water for a smooth surface, such as steel, bats will try to drink it. Even naive bats who supposedly do not have any chance to learn the correlation between surface, pattern, and water will demonstrate this highly complex behavioral reflex. So we know all this information about the bat sonar and the behavioral responses which may trigger it. What about the quality of the experience? Bat sonar, which is clearly a form of perception, is not similar in its operation to any sense that we possess. Furthermore, we have no reason to suppose that it is subjectively like anything we can experience or imagine. How can we conceive what it's like to be a bat? We can imagine being a bat as ourselves, what it's like for me to be a bat, but that won't tell us what it's like for a bat to be a bat. It'd be the same if a Martian attempted to understand humans. The Martian could claim to know certain general things, like humans have perceptions and desires, but never the subjective quality of those experiences. Maybe if we learn more about how things work, we can figure out what the experience is like. Seems not. Why? Because understanding how an organism works and understanding what it's like to be that organism seems to be a difference in point of view. Every subjective phenomenon is connected with a single point of view, but an objective physical theory will abandon that point of view. The facts of experience, or facts about what it's like for the experiencing organism, are accessible only from one point of view, the subjective point of view. So how can we get at the true character of those experiences by abandoning the very vantage point that is required for understanding them? There are two questions I want you to think about. First, there are certainly facts that have not yet been represented by humans, but are there also facts that could not be represented by humans? Second, can we ever make an experience objective? More specifically, does it make sense to ask what my experiences are really like, as opposed to how they appear to me? A final thought. We talk about our experiences as publicly observable things, expecting that everyone fully understands the content. Do we really understand the experiences others describe? Do we need organisms to be sufficiently similar to us to have any understanding of their experience? If they're not sufficiently similar to us, and we can't comprehend them from any vantage point, we may make the terrible error that there is nothing that it is like to be that organism.